Bubba Joe's Kitchen. This week we're going to be making a homemade chocolate pudding. This is going to make about 4 8-ounce servings or 4 1-cup servings. It's quick, easy, a little bit of hard work involved, but it's worth it. It's delicious, it's healthier for you. So let's jump into it. Let's get this going. Okay, to make this pudding, it's very, very simple. You start out, melt down 2 tablespoons of butter. Add to that 1/4 cup cornstarch, 1/2 cup white sugar, 4 tablespoons, doesn't have to be exact, just has to be approximate, of unsweetened cocoa powder. Cocoa powder is a bit of a pain to work with, so just get as close as possible. And 2 3/4 cup of milk. An 1/8 of a teaspoon or a large pinch salt. And then minimum of a teaspoon of vanilla. I eyeball it because I always like a little bit more. It adds a little bit more flavor to it. And you just want to start this off by just trying to combine everything together. So once you get everything mixed up, the cocoa powder is going to be your biggest hassle with this. It's all about just working through it. Now while you got this going, you want this on medium-high heat. If you're using an induction top like I am, it's going to be about 375 degrees. You just want to get that going. You're going to mix it with the whisk. This is one of the few times we're using a whisk with for our recipes. This is going to be your best option. You want to use your whisk and just keep going. You don't want to stop unless you really have to, because this is going to come once this hits temperature and starts coming together. It's going to fold together very, very fast. So you just got to keep going. See that the cocoa powder is breaking down, mixing in very nicely. Just got to keep it going. Move some stuff out of our way. Now, if you have a hand mixer, just put on the beater attachment and put it on the low setting and just keep moving it around. You'll get the same results, and when it comes together, you'll actually be able to mix it up a bit better than you can with just using a whisk in your hand. Right now, we're just breaking up the air layers, the air that's getting trapped in the cocoa powder on the top here. So all we're doing is just breaking through that. The reason I don't recommend using a spoon or a spatula or anything other than a whisk or a hand mixer is because you have to get it thoroughly mixed up and blended for when it tightens. Like I said, once it happens, it's going to happen fast. It actually should be pretty close at this point. What you're really trying to do is keep the bottom of the pan clear from clogging due to it starting to cook from the bottom up, which will happen from time to time if you don't constantly keep it moving. So you can slow it down a bit, but you just gotta be ready for it, because when this baby starts coming together, it comes together. If it's starting to get up to temp, I can feel the heat. So we're gonna go back to speeding up a bit. Getting that nice chocolatey smell coming off of it. Up. Yep, it's starting to tighten. You'll feel it, it'll just become it'll become harder to mix, and it'll only get greater as it starts to tighten. See that we knocked all the air out of the top. We got a little bit of foam, but that's to be expected as it heats, because the milk will naturally just start doing that, especially as you use a whisk, which is made to put air into liquids and whatnot. While I have you here, don't forget to hit subscribe if you like the video and want to see more. Give it a like, leave a comment. If you have any questions on any of our recipes or want us to do a specific recipe, leave us a comment or send us a message. You can find us on Facebook. I'll leave a link in the description box. So feel free to look us up. If you're in the Denham Springs, Louisiana area, come by and see us. Now, once this does come together, you're gonna let it sit in the fridge for about 3 to 4 hours minimum to give it time to cool off and completely pull itself together. So I suggest, if you're gonna make this for like a get together or family outing or just for family dessert, make it in the early afternoon or in the morning, so that by the time you're done eating dinner or the event's getting ready to wrap up or whatever, your pudding cooled off enough to where it's going to be enjoyable. You really don't want to eat it hot, but some people like it. It's going to taste perfectly fine, to be honest. Now, if you so choose, you can increase the temperature to help it cook quicker, but it will also increase the risk of your pudding burning on the bottom, and that will throw the taste off immensely. So a nice medium-high heat is where you want to keep it until it really starts to pull together. I can really feel the heat coming off of this, so it should be actually getting close. Yep, you can kind of see it starting to thicken and get a darker color going. I can feel that it's getting harder to stir. Not by much. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. See how it's not going down as much? It's really starting to come together. At this point, you want to drop it down to a medium heat and just keep stirring. See how thick it's gotten? When it comes together within seconds. So now you just got to keep going so you don't burn the bottom. Keep it on that medium heat. And by this point, it's probably getting pretty tired, but it's just one of those things you got to do for your craft. Come on. It's still a bit thin, but it's tightened up. If it is still a bit too thin for your liking, slowly add in a teaspoon at a time of cornstarch until it's thick enough for you. This is about as thick as I like it, because once it cools and whatnot, it's going to be a lot tighter. But some people do like it more thick as it cooks, so I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit real quick, just to get it tighten up a bit quicker. So if you're comfortable enough doing it, you can actually just raise and lower the temperature at this stage as you see fit until you feel that your pudding is done. Now, if you're using a gas range and not or even an electric range where you can't really control the heat too well, you want to be really, really careful how you, of what your flame temperature's at. There we go. Starting to thick up a lot more now. So, I prefer the induction top over using my other equipment for pudding especially, simply because of the control you have. See how thick that is? That's what we're looking for. And like I said, this makes a lot of pudding. So you can cut it down to smaller sizes for the kids, but this will make I want to say it'll make about 6-8 ounce cups. It's starting to boil, so we gotta turn the heat down. I'm actually going to kill the heat and let just residual heat take over. But for all intents and purposes, this is done. It's got a little bit of burning on the bottom. That's because we turned the heat back up. But there you go. That's pudding. So thanks. Tune in again next time. This has been not Cooking for the Average Joe. This is a new show. This has been Average Joe's Kitchen. Take care.